Good evening and welcome into the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. My name is Adam Birch and this is the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take away your stress. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. Day one and game one for the Hardhats here at the 47th annual Firecracker tournament here in Rapid City. Great afternoon of baseball to be had and a full day of baseball already played. Lots of scores already to be mentioned throughout this broadcast as when we get going here in Rapid City. The Hardhats set their sights on Premier West here tonight as they enter at 29-16 post 22 on the season, coming off of doubleheader sweep of in-state Yankton on Tuesday, and then on the Creighton Prep Omaha tournament over last weekend. So lots to recap as the broadcast moves forward here tonight. We'll have all the games here this weekend of the Firecracker tournament right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City, and I'm excited to bring you all the coverage here throughout the weekend. Today's starting lineups are built by Connect Home Center. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumberyard since 1928. For Premier West, it's Jace Valdez, the shortstop, to lead things off, and Toby Trujillo, the second baseman, bats second. Max Hurdle, the catcher, bats third. Blake Dale, the center fielder, in the fourth and cleanup spot. Eden Johnson, the first baseman, bats fifth. Jake Watkins, the left fielder, bats sixth. Dalton Berg, the right fielder, seventh. Cameron O'Hare, the third baseman, bats eighth. And Owen Randall, the designated hitter, bats ninth for Premier West. They go up against Eli Kelly on the mound for the Hardhats. We'll have his numbers in just a few moments as he gets set to take the field. And as our pregame festivities start on the field, lineups and a full color guard. The Post 22 Legion color guard will present the colors here tonight as well. And then we'll get set for baseball. On the other side, for the Post 22 Hardhats, it's Zeke Farley, the center fielder, to lead things off. Amarian Saylor, the left fielder, bats second, followed by Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner of third base. Harrison Good in right field, he's in the cleanup spot, followed by Dylan Marsh batting fifth. He's playing second base. Riker Henney, the designated hitter, bats sixth. Alex Dietrich, the first baseman, bats seventh. Jake Solano does the catching, he bats eighth. And Wilson Kiefer, the shortstop, bats ninth. And the Hardhats go up against Dylan Huddle on the mound for Premier West. Hardhats in their baby blue uniforms, baby blue tops with Rapid City across the chest in red and white trim, a number below that, and numbers on their backs in the red and white as well. Premier West in navy blue tops, white pants, along with the Hardhats in their white pants. And Premier West across the chest in red and white trim, numbers on their backs in red and white trim as well. Starting lineups being announced on the field as we speak. Let's take a look at how the Hardhats finished up in Omaha this last weekend. The Hardhats finished 3-3 in Omaha and really finished strong against Arapahoe on Sunday morning. 9-1 victory against the Arapahoe Warriors on Sunday morning before the Hardhats were able to travel back home to Rapid City. They fell at the hands of Eden Prairie on Friday night and lost to their site host Gretna on Thursday. Eden Prairie was a 14-7 score, and Gretna a 3-1 loss. They also fell in the back half of their doubleheader. They played a doubleheader on day 1 on Wednesday last week, and they defeated Kearney, Nebraska 10-3 over Kearney, and then played a team from Bryant, Arkansas, the Black Sox there, and fell 7-2, although the Hardhats would have loved to take that victory. Led pretty much the entire game until just ran out of gas in the 6th inning, where Bryant scored all their runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Hardhats only had 3 outs really to counter that onslaught put up by Bryant. Today's colors being presented on the field, and we'll have tonight's national anthem as well. So we'll take a step aside and come back for baseball right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before our national anthem,
Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. The retirement of the colors has taken place, and we are just about set for baseball here in Rapid City. The final game of day one here at the 47th annual Firecracker tournament, always over Independence Day weekend, and just a glorious sight to see all the red, white, and blue bunting around the fences here, and it feels like Independence Day. It feels like semi-opening day-ish, but it's just an all-round American feeling here at the ballpark. Plenty of spectators in attendance for the Hardhats' first game here of the Firecracker, and just about set for baseball here. So as mentioned, the Hardhats, they went 3-3 in Omaha. And we only mentioned 2 wins because one was a forfeit victory in Omaha. One of the teams could not make the trip to Omaha, Nebraska, so any team that was scheduled to face them eventually or anytime throughout the tournament just automatically gained a forfeit victory. And the Hardhats were kind of victims of the forfeit on Saturday. So they had a full Saturday off and actually got to take place in nice day for the festivities in downtown Omaha of the College World Series. I saw a great game of the College World Series as well on Wednesday, and then had a great meal on that Saturday that they had off. Then the team went bowling, and for those of you that don't know these young men, they're very competitive, and don't ever put POs, pitchers only, on a bowling team together because they will win. They split up into 3 different teams, and the POs plus Coach Ewing came out with the average victory over 2 games of bowling on Saturday. So keep that in mind as if you ever decide to challenge a Post 22 hard hat in bowling. Eli Kelly and the Hardhats take the field for the first time here at the Firecracker, once again in their sky blue, baby blue unis. Eli Kelly, a right-hander. He comes in to play here today. 51 innings on the season. This is his 11th start on the season, 12th appearance overall, a 7-2 record on the mound this season. He's been very good for the Hardhats, and it's very nice to see a young arm like Eli Kelly produce early in his varsity career. First really experience at the varsity level full-time this season. Over those 51 innings, 65 hits, 41 runs, only 25 earned runs, 28 strikeouts to 20 walks, hit 3 batters, and a 3.43 ERA for Eli Kelly. His last outing, game against Eden Prairie, the Hardhats did not pick up the victory against Eden Prairie. It was kind of a back and forth game, really until the 5th inning. Kelly went 4, and back and forth until really the 5th, where Eden Prairie scored 5. He allowed 7 runs to 5 earned, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks, and that was on natural grass and dirt. So a little bit different feel for Kelly and the Hardhats a couple of times in Omaha. They played in Gretna for their site, and that was all artificial turf. but playing at a couple of different sites, Millard South and Millard West, and those have dirt and grass in Omaha. Jace Valadez to step in on the right side. He's a shortstop after the ceremonial tap of the Hardhats around Eli Kelly. Approaching 7:20 local mountain time. And thumbs up all around from our two umpires. Play ball signal to Eli Kelly. Solano flashes the signs to Kelly, set, kicks and deals, and hits the inside edge for a called strike one, underway at 7:20 local mountain time here in Rapid City. Premier West and your Hardhats. Kelly, set, kicks and deals the 0-1, misses down and away. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's Jace Valadez and Toby Trujillo and Max Hurdle, the 3 scheduled against Kelly in the first. The 1-1. High flying ball to left field, playable for Amarian Saylor. It's Wilson Kiefer, and then Saylor calls him off at the very last minute. That's his ball coming in from left field, and he makes the grab for out number 1. Set the defensive alignment for the post 22 Hardhats to start this ball game. It's Amarian Saylor in left field, as mentioned. Zeke Farley, the center fielder, and Harrison Good in right field. Kelly kicks and deals. The first pitch to Toby Trujillo misses outside for ball 1. Across the infield, and Wyatt Anderson at the hot corner. Wilson Kiefer, as mentioned, at shortstop. Dylan Marsh, the second baseman. Alex Dietrich, the first baseman, here today. And Jake Solano doing the catching. The other half of the battery mate for Eli Kelly on the mound. Kelly misses with a breaking ball downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes on Toby Trujillo, the second baseman. Bouncer left side, scooped on the ground by Anderson. Fires across in time, out number 2. 5-3 in the book. So quickly 2 up and 2 down. And for those listening on Fox Sports Rapid City, you heard Coach Torvey and Nate Brown talking earlier. This lineup of teams is one of the best that Coach Torvey has seen ever since he really came back up to Rapid City. First pitch, a breaking ball, called strike 1 on the catcher, Max Hurdle. Down the count, he goes 0-1. And Coach Torvey really excited about how this group has come together this season. Kelly misses down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike, and really shaped into a hard hat club. And the chemistry is there, the good feelings around the team is there. 1-1 becomes 2 balls and a strike as Kelly misses down and away. 2-1. This is the zone, 3 balls and a strike. And Kelly misses outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk drawn by the catcher, Max Hurdle. It brings up Blake Dale, the center fielder. He's in the cleanup spot tonight. Runner on first, 2 gone, scoreless top of the first. Kelly, a peek at first, comes Stan Hurdle. Actually, a pinch runner at first takes his lead. And that looks to be Carson Gabbert at first base. A courtesy runner. Saw that plenty of times in Omaha. The catcher always given the opportunity to be courtesy ran for. Gabbert off of first. The 0-1 misses in the turf. Blocked by Solano, but it rolls back behind him. And Gabbert up to second. So a wild pitch allows a runner into scoring position after the walk. Kelly set at the belt, kicks and deals the 1-1. Popped up sky high on the infield. Alex Dietrich gives chase, looking, and he makes the grab up against the Premier West dugout and the netting over on the first base side. Nice play by Dietrich to end the inning. Premier West strands a base runner at second, and we're scoreless through 1/2 inning of play. Hardhats to bat for the first time here at the Firecracker when we return on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
We are your community. We are your neighbors. Our family of doctors are invested in our community. At Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, we are honored to help you along the journey from injury to recovery. You have a choice with Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Adam Birch alongside you, set for the bottom of inning number 1 here between Premier West and your Post 22 Hardhats here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. It's the southpaw, Dylan Huddle, to take the mound for Premier West. So the Hardhats face a left-hander. Here put up by Premier West. Take a look at where the Hardhats stand entering this ball game when they face a southpaw. Pull up that information in just a few moments. Zeke Farley to lead things off for the Hardhats. When the Hardhats face a left-hander, they've only faced 4 of them. They're 3-1 against them. 26-15 against right-handed starting pitchers. First pitch from Huddle, and Farley flies one to shallow right field. Long run by Dalton Berg, and he makes the grab about 5 feet from the foul line in fair territory for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Farley's down with the out. And now Amarian Saylor. Saylor has been hot at the plate and hits the ball well in Omaha over the weekend. Amarian Saylor this season, he fouls away the 1-0, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Enters at a 377 record, or a 377 average, and 1117 OPS. It's very good. The 1-1 with 1 out, nobody on. Skips in front of the plate, 2 balls and a strike. He has 52 hits in 138 at-bats. 31 singles, 10 doubles, 7 triples, and 4 home runs. 35 runs batted in. Huddle winds, kicks, deals, and misses outside on the 2-1. Becomes 3 balls and a strike to Saylor. Wyatt Anderson on deck. Huddle sets up on the far third base side of the rubber, just barely towing that rubber with his plant a left foot. Sailor fouls away to 3-1. Now the count runs full 3-2. Huddle, the wind, the kick, and the deal. And Sailor pops it foul right side out of play. We'll do it again, 3-2. 1 out, nobody on. We're scoreless. In the bottom of the first. And Sailor looks at a called strike 3 on the inside edge. Difficult pitch to get a backwards K on. Looked to be a little bit inside from my vantage point, but what do I know? I'm just a radio guy. Backwards K in the book for out number 2. Wyatt Anderson bats, 2 outs, nobody on. And Anderson looks at ball 1 outside at the north-south, not the east-west. It was right at the belt, ball 1. The 1-0, line drive, and base hit into center field. Sinks in front of the center fielder, Dale. And a 2-out base knock. Wyatt Anderson has the first hit of the ball game for either side. It'll bring up Harrison Good. Harrison Good enters with a .323 average. He bats from the right side. 844 OPS. Check on Anderson. He's back in standing up. Didn't have that big of a lead, but checked on either way by Huddle. And Good swings through the first pitch, 0-1. 2 outs, 1 on first for the Hardhats. Scoreless bottom of the first. Huddle from the stretch at the chest. He's set. He checks on Anderson once again, and he's back in standing up. Huddle toes the rubber once again. The 0-1 to Good, misses outside. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Harrison Good, 8 2-out runs batted in on the season. And as a team, the Hardhats have 92 of those. 1-1 misses low in the turf, blocked by the catcher Hurdle. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Wind blowing left to right, almost straight out to right field here tonight. We saw the wind blowing the opposite direction pretty hard on Tuesday. 2-1 misses high, 3 balls and a strike on Harrison Good. Dylan Marsh, the second baseman, on deck should this inning continue. 3-1, Anderson takes off for second, and Good fouls it straight back to the screen. The count runs full to 3-2, and Anderson back to first. Payoff pitch upcoming into Harrison Good. Huddle looks in. Anderson not held on at first with 3 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. So he can take about as big of a lead as he wants, and time is asked for at the plate by Harrison Good. Good red batting gloves on the right side, a navy blue bat. And he swings through the payoff pitch. They go down swinging for strike number 3. Scoreless after 1. We head to the second after this on Hardhats TV and 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation getting set for inning number 2. We're scoreless after 1 inning of play. The Hardhats stranded a runner at first. Premier West stranded a runner at second, and Eli Kelly back to the hill. He kicks and deals. The first pitch misses a touch inside for ball 1 on the tall first baseman, Aiden Johnson. He's a tall drink of water. Kelly kicks and deals the 1-0, and it's popped up and straight up behind the plate and out of play. Off the roof over my head, and 1 ball, 1 strike to count. So it's Johnson, the first baseman, left fielder Jake Watkins, and Dalton Berg, the right fielder, to face Kelly here in the second. Johnson flies one to left field. Amarian Saylor a few steps in, can of corn for him, and he makes a grab for out number 1. Now Jake Watkins, the left fielder. He bats from the left side. An all white sleeve to go along with his navy blue top on his left arm. Kelly kicks and deals, and swing and a miss by Watkins. Down the count, he goes 0-1. High fastball that time from Kelly. He works solely out of the stretch on the far first base side of the rubber. Comes set once again, kicks and deals the 0-1. Strike 2, caught on the outside edge, and now 0-2 on Watkins. A shift put on by the Hardhats. Marsh playing well into the 4-3 gap. Takes a few extra steps back as Kelly misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Kiefer playing just about straight up the middle at his shortstop position. And Wyatt Anderson playing right in the 5-6 gap on the left side. The 1-2 misses downstairs. Even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of inning number 2, 1 out and nobody on. And the 2-2, a breaking ball slipped out of the hand, and it misses well outside. 3-2. Count runs full. Shift stays put by the Hardhats. The payoff pitch misses high, ball 4. And Watkins from 0-2 to 3-2 and a walk with 1 out. Brings up Dalton Berg. Back-to-back left-handed bats in this lineup for Premier West. He sports number 20 on his back. And he taps the plate on the left side. Watkins takes his lead off of first, with Dietrich holding him on, and pickoff move over there. Watkins dives back in safely. Kelly up over 20 pitches. This will be his 24th, the first to Dalton Berg. And it's fouled away up over the Hardhats dugout, out of play, left side. 0-1 on Berg. A very nice crowd here on hand at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. A very nice night. Another pickoff move before the 0-1, and Watkins dives back in safely. And today, after some 90-plus degree heat the last couple of days, it was just about 80 degrees. Very nice and a mild day here in the Black Hills. 0-1 swung on and missed, 0-2 on Berg. So lots of fans in attendance here tonight, and another pickoff move by Eli Kelly. Back in time is Watkins after the tag by Dietrich. Kelly shakes off a sign, now comes set. At the belt, he kicks and deals, and swung on and missed. Runner took off for second, a late break, the tag, no, he's safe. The keeper just missed the tag. Boy, the throw just looked like it beat it. But Kiefer might have just missed the tag on Watkins. He slid to the top of the second base bag and just about a strikeout, throw-out, double play. But instead, it's a strikeout and a stolen base, and Cameron O'Hare to bat. O'Hare chops one on one bounce to Wyatt Anderson. He fires across in time, out number 3, and the stolen base is Noel Stad in the scorebook as Premier West strands another base runner. We are scoreless through 1.5. We head to the bottom of the second after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Bottom of inning number 2 here at day 1 of the Firecracker tournament, the 47th annual Firecracker here in Rapid City, hosted by Post 22. Lots of great pregame festivities that we had here on day 1 and throughout this tournament. The Hardhats play a doubleheader tomorrow night at 4:30, I believe, and then the nightcap at 7. Dylan Marsh to lead things off, and he lines one on the right side, scooped by the second baseman. He spins and fires, safe at first, Dylan Marsh. Bang, bang play, and a nice play by Toby Trujillo in the 4-3 gap. But Marsh is safe at first. Brief discussion by Premier West coach out of their dugout, but it falls on deaf ears. So Dylan Marsh on base with a leadoff infield single. Brings up Riker Henny. Pickoff move over to first. Marsh back in, standing up. Henny bats from the right side. Comes in batting .301 on the season. First pitch to Henny, a strike called at the knees, 0-1. Yes, 4:30 and 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Both games on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. The 0-1 to Riker Henny. Marsh takes off for second. The pitch is high for a ball. Marsh slides in feet first with a stolen base. The throw by Max Hurdle just a little bit to the shortstop side of second. And Marsh able to get a pretty good jump even with the southpaw on the mound. Now being held on by both middle infielders as he takes his lead off of second. The 1-1 to Henny, a called strike 2 at the knees, outer edge, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Henny. For Riker this season, 16 runs batted in. Rests the bat on his right shoulder before Huddle just steps off. Wants to relook at the signs. Waves the bat head out in front. Comes set and pops the bat off that right shoulder. The 1-2 to Henny. Swing and a miss. Outside part of the zone, and Henny goes down swinging. Third strikeout overall for Dylan Huddle on the mound. And second of the swinging variety. That brings up the first baseman, Alex Dietrich. Runner on second, 1 out. Scoreless bottom of the second. And Dietrich looks at ball 1 low. It gets away from the catcher. Hurdle. And back to the backstop. Marsh easily to third on the wild pitch. So a man 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. And these situations for the Hardhats, they've kind of been a struggle recently for the Hardhats. Alex Dietrich batting .272 on the season, 17 driven in. Would love to get back into that column with his 18th. 1 out, man at third. Huddle set, and he will work out of the windup. He winds, kicks, deals the 1-0 to Dietrich. Fouled away right side out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Dietrich getting some playing time. Not exactly sure the severity of the injury to Hayden Hollick, but Dietrich and Hollick usually swapping out at that first base spot. He looks at ball 2 low, 2 balls and a strike. Hollick is in the dugout, cheering on his teammates. 2-1. Downstairs, 3 balls and a strike on Dietrich with 1 out. Jake Solano on deck, wearing a weird double play. He's already taken off his shin guards. The 3-1. Dietrich lines 1 to left field, and it drops in front of the left fielder. Marsh comes in, and he will score, and it's an RBI single for Alex Dietrich. Make it his 18th run batted in on the season, and it's 1-0 Hardhats. Just a line drive right at the left fielder, Jake Watkins, and had that sinking motion on it, sinking spin on it, to just let it drop down right in front of Watkins. Marsh had to retreat back to the third base bag, but ended up scoring easily without a throw. The throw came into second. Solano looks at ball 1 inside. 1 out, a runner on first. 1-0 Hardhats here in the bottom of the second. Huddle from the stretch. He takes a move over to first, and Dietrich dives back in safely. Tap to the plate on the right side for Jake Solano, the catcher. Huddle kicks and deals, and it's a chopper left side, the shortstop. Valdez is second for 1, over to first, the stretch, and it goes right past the first baseman. Solano rounds first and immediately goes to second. They do get the 1 out. Dietrich out on the 4s. Solano reaches on what will be scored. Fielder's choice and an error. A wild throw by the second baseman, Trujillo. So a runner on second, 2 outs, 1-0 Hardhats. Here's Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer bats from the right side. First pitch to the Hardhats shortstop. Popped up, shallow right field, foul territory. Long run for everyone involved, and no one will make the grab. It drops in foul territory in the Bermuda Triangle area between Johnson, the first baseman, Trujillo, the second baseman, and the right fielder, Berg. So Kiefer potentially down on 1 pitch. It just becomes strike 1. Solano off a second, 2 outs. The 0-1 to Kiefer. Line drive to deep center field, right center. Long run for everyone. A diving catch by the center fielder, Blake Dale. He lays out in center field and makes the grab, robbing Wilson Kiefer and the Hardhats of extra bases. It's 1-0 Hardhats after 2. And we head to inning number 3 after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Set for inning number 3, and I can't express enough how the bottom of the second ended. Wilson Kiefer robbed of extra bases, at least 2, probably would have gotten 3 with Kiefer's speed, and it would have been 2-0 Hardhats. But Blake Dale, roaming back into his left, laid out full body and arms extended and everything, made the grab. And he was pumped, and I would be too. First pitch from Eli Kelly to begin inning number 3 to Owen Randall. The designated hitter misses downstairs for ball 1. Randall is first at bat in the 9 spot. It's 9-1-2 for Premier West. 1-0, misses in front of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Randall, Valdez, and then Trujillo. Kelly likes a sign from Solano, a deep breath, the 2-0. Is a strike called at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Randall bats from the right side. High Black Sox and called strike 2 at the knees, about the same spot from Eli Kelly, and the count even up 2-2. High Black Sox, short white pants for most of this Premier West club. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Randall goes down swinging for out number 1. Second strikeout of the ball game for Eli Kelly. Out number 1 here in the 3rd. Top of the order now for Premier West. It's Jace Valdez, the shortstop. The shortstop is 0 for 1, a fly to left to Amarian Saylor to begin the ball game, and he looks at ball 1 up and in from Kelly. So 1 out, nobody on. Kelly likes the sign from Solano, set a deep breath, kicks and deals the 1-0, and it's down and away. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0. Across the belt on the inside edge, called strike 1. So the Hardhats facing Premier West tonight, and they will face Papillion tomorrow afternoon in game 1 of their doubleheader. The 2-1 misses inside, 3 balls and a strike. And then they face Rocky Mountain in the nightcap, the 7 o'clock game tomorrow night. And then they face Missoula on Saturday night with fireworks to follow, and Terre Haute, Indiana on Sunday night. Ball 4 misses downstairs on the 3-1, and it's a 1-out walk drawn by Valdez. He put the speed at the top of the order on base, and it brings up Toby Trujillo. 1-0 post 22. 1 run on 3 hits, and an error defensively for Premier West. Trujillo bats from the right side. He bounced to Anderson at third his first trip. A breaking ball. Called strike 1. Nice slow, lots of break from Kelly. And it's 0-1. Coach Clapridge flashes the signs to Solano and Solano to Kelly. Pickoff move over to first, and Valdez dives back in safely. It's a gorgeous night for baseball, and it sounds like for the most part this whole tournament is expected to be very mild weather. The 0-1 misses downstairs for a ball. The throw down bounces in and bounces past Marsh, but backed up on the play by Kiefer. It's a stolen base for Jace Valdez. So runner on second, that's the tying run with 1 out. Kelly a peek at second. He kicks and deals. The breaking ball misses high. 2 balls and a strike on Trujillo. 1-0 Hardhats. They gain the 1 run last half inning in the bottom of the second. 2-1 becomes 3 balls and a strike as Kelly misses down and away. Another breaking ball. And now 3-1. Runner on second, 1 out. The 3-1 from Kelly, and it's just a faked move back to second. Harrison Good takes a few steps back in right field on the 3-1. Here it is, and it's fouled straight back, high off the netting behind the plate. Cal runs 4-3 and 2. Trujillo, a bent over stance on the right side. Here's a payoff from Kelly. Kicks and deals. The breaking ball just misses a touch upstairs. And Trujillo, stone cold on his take. Back-to-back walks to put runners on first and second. And here comes Coach Clapridge out of the dugout. He'll bring the entire infield around him and Eli Kelly along with Jake Solano. It's 1-0 Hardhats, but the tying and go-ahead runners are on base now. The wind has died down a little bit. That wind blowing left to right, almost out to right field. If you haven't been to Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark before, down left field line is 325. Down the right field line is 330. And then 393 to left center, 393 to right center. With the scoreboard in left center field. Meeting of the minds is over. Kelly set 2 on, 1 out. And the first pitch to Max Hurdle. This is downstairs, ball 1. So Kelly struggling to get that first pitch strike. And you can't express enough, especially at the lower levels, that first pitch strike is crucial to get ahead in the count and work with the lead in the count each at bat. 1-0 fouled straight back to the screen, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. For the most part, Kelly has not fallen behind 2-0. Set, peek at second, and a fake move back to second before the 1-1. Some clouds rolling in, nothing too dangerous. Just making sure the lights take effect here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark. A line drive, base hit in the left field in front of Amarian Sailor. The throw comes in, it's cut off. We're tied at 1. An RBI single for Max Hurdle. Valdez scores from second. Trujillo to second. Hurdle aboard first now, after his RBI. Blake Dale, the new batter, robbed Wilson Kiefer of a hit last half inning. 2 on, 1 out still. Kelly kicks and deals the first pitch to Dale, misses inside, ball 1. Kelly approaching 50 pitches now. A long half inning. The 1-0. Outside edge, called strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 on, 1 out. We're tied at 1. That was the first hit of the ball game for Premier West, and it came with 1 out in the third. A couple of walks to put runners on first and second. Breaking ball, called strike 2 on Dale as it ends up on the outside edge. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Stadium lights here at the ballpark taking effect even with the setting sun, but the clouds affecting that. The 1-2 called strike 3, and Dale goes down looking for a huge out, number 2. Third strikeout overall for Eli Kelly. It seems like forever ago that he struck out the first man here in this half inning. Brings up Aiden Johnson. Shorter wood stance on the right side, and Kelly. Elwood takes back to second, kicks and deals the first pitch to Johnson, misses outside for ball 1. Eden Johnson flying to left to start the second inning. Bats for the second time here, 0 for 1. Kelly likes a sign from Solano, set at the bell, a peek at second, and the 1-0 outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Kelly, the opposite of the southpaw, he sets up on the far first base side of the rubber. The 2-0. Foul tipped back to the screen, and 2 balls and a strike now. On Johnson. White helmet to go along with his white and black bat. 2-1. Foul tip back to the backstop once again. And an even count, 2-2. Twos across the board, 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Kelly trying to escape with just the 1 run allowed. Here in a long top of the third. The 2-2. Breaking ball, line drive to right center field. That'll split the outfielder. Cut off by Harrison Good. It rolls on past him. 1 run will come in and score. Here comes another run right behind him, and it's a 2-run double for Aiden Johnson. And Premier West takes the lead. It's 3-1. A hanging breaking ball from Eli Kelly, and Johnson did not miss it. Took it to the opposite field gap. And Gooden had to slide to try and cut it off. But it just kind of bounced over his glove. First pitch swung on and missed by Jake Watkins. Runner on second, 2 gone, 3-1 Premier West. The 0-1. Downstairs, even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Kelly twirls the baseball behind his back as he looks in to Solano. Likes the sign, comes in, a deep breath. Devil takes his second, and Watkins asks for time at the plate. As mentioned in our pregame show, Hardhats coming off of doubleheader sweep of in-state Yankton. On Tuesday, the 1-1 swung on and missed, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Watkins. He walked and stole second in the second inning. Final scores in that one, 8-3 and 6-3 over Yankton Post 12. The 1-2 from Kelly. Strike 3 called at the knees, and backwards K ends the third. Premier West ties and takes the lead. It's 3-1 after 2.5 innings of play. Hardhats try and counter in their half of the third after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. The Hardhats trailing now 3-1 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, to Premier West. In game 1 for the Hardhats at the Firecracker tournament. A line drive, base hit into the right field corner for Zeke Farley. He rounds first, digs for second, now heading for third. The throw comes in, it's cut off. The throw comes into third, and Farley dives in safely. And Zeke Farley has another triple this season. That's his 7th triple. And it leads off the third inning in a big way. He flied to right his first time, now into the hit column with the triple. Brings up Amarian Saylor. Top of the order for the Hardhats, Farley, Saylor, and Anderson. Otto Wines kicks, deals a line drive, base hit, right field side once again, and it's an RBI single for Amarian Saylor. And just like that, it's 3-2 Premier West. Back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches. Both going after Huddle on the first pitch. A triple and a single. Saylor into the hit column as well. He's 1 for 2 here tonight. Wyatt Anderson already 1 for 1. A single. His first opportunity at the plate. Time asked for by the catcher, Hurdle. Huddle, pickoff move over to first. Thought he had Saylor leaning a little bit, and it looked like he was. But Amarian with a smile across his face just dives back into first. As the Talks with Coach Ewing. Another pickoff move, back in standing up this time. 3-2, Premier West. Hardhats out hitting Premier West 5-2. Otto kicks and deals. The first pitch to Anderson, blocked in the turf by Hurdle. 1 ball and no strikes. Huddle kicks and deals, and the 1-0 swung on and missed. Powered a fastball right by Anderson. 1-1. So 1 run in each of the last 2 innings for the Hardhats so far. There's still nobody out here in the bottom of the third. 3 in the top half of this third inning. A pickoff move to first, and Saylor just 1 leap into the first base bag. Lots of young fans in attendance here tonight going after the foul balls. 1-1. A high fly ball to deep center field. Blake Deal over to his left. He makes the grab in the right center field alley. And that's out number 1. Saylor jots back to first. It's a little bit easier play for Blake Deal that time. A little bit more arc on that one. Harrison Good bats from the right side. He's 0 for 1. Struck out against Huddle to end the first inning for the Hardhats. First pitch to Good is fouled straight back and off the netting. 0-1. The ball's in a strike. Harrison Good has Saylor off of first. 1 gone. Saylor's the tying run. Good the go-ahead run at the plate. And a pickoff move over to first. Saylor trots back in, standing up. Defense for Premier West is Jake Watkins in left field, Blake Deal, the center fielder, and Dalton Berg, the right fielder. Harrison Good looks at strike 2, called at the knees. As the scoreboard kind of dims. And now lights back up. Just the ball strikes and outs line on the scoreboard in left center. Runner takes off for a second. A little blooper right by the Premier West dugout. And Saylor will drop back to first. Across the infield for Premier West, it's Cameron O'Hare at third base. Jace Valdez at short. Toby Trujillo, the second baseman, and Aiden Johnson, the first baseman. Chopper left side on a hop. O'Hare fires across in time, out number 2. Saylor goes to second on the play. 5-3 the ground out. Cameron O'Hare making a nice play, roaming in and making the grab on a short hop. Brings up Dylan Marsh. Tying run in scoring position now. Marsh, a single, a stolen base, stranded at third after advancing there on a wild pitch. And actually Marsh scored in the second. He looks at ball 1 low. Good off of second. Or Saylor rather off of second, being held on there. The 1-0 to Marsh, outside 2-0. Dylan Marsh this season. 8 runs batted in. 4 RBI with 2 outs. 2-0, Harrison Good takes off for third. There will be no throw. It's a strike called on Marsh. 2 balls and a strike, and now Good 90 feet away from tying this ball game at 3. Marsh might have missed a hit and run. Don't usually see hit and run on with Man already in scoring position. Now Huddle out of the wind. He kicks and deals and misses high and tight, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike on Dylan Marsh. Riker Henny on deck. And Henny's 0 for 1. Huddle into the wind. He kicks and fires, and Marsh swings through the 3-1. Ahead of that one, and now the count runs full, 3-2. Third baseman O'Hare playing in line with the third base bag. Everyone else playing relatively back. Payoff pitch. Dylan Huddle to Dylan Marsh, and Marsh asks for time before Huddle goes into his wind. Huddle into his motion and the payoff pitch inside, ball 4, and that'll bring up the aforementioned Riker Henny. So Marsh is still 1 for 1, a single, a run scored, and a walk. Runners on the corners. Marion Saylor on third, and Dylan Marsh off of first. Riker Henny bats from the right side. He struck out swinging his first try against Huddle. First pitch, Marsh takes off for second. The pitch is high for a ball. The throw down to third, and now Saylor caught in a rundown. And he will be tagged out by the catcher, Max Hurdle. So that's out number 3. And Saylor asking why the catcher was in the base path. But it'll fall on deaf ears. We head to the top of the 4th after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Adam Birch set for inning number 4 in the top half of the inning. Pins Dalton Berg against Eli Kelly. Berg, O'Hare, and Randall. The 3 scheduled the bottom third of the order, 7, 8, and 9 against Kelly, and he misses high for ball 1 against the left-handed bat. And hits the inside edge, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Premier West with a 3-2 advantage after 3 runs in their 3rd inning. Hardhats countered with 1 in their half. Breaking ball called strike 2 on the outside edge, kind of a backdoor breaker. Hit the outside edge on the left-handed bat from the right-hander. And a 1-2 count now on Berg. Swings through a high fastball, goes down swinging out number 1. And back-to-back strikeouts for Eli Kelly make it 5 overall for Kelly. Going back to last inning, back-to-back, 1 looking, 1 swinging. 1 out, nobody on for Cameron O'Hare, the third baseman. Kelly from the stretch, and the first pitch to O'Hare, a touch high for ball 1. Stadium lights in full effect, and the field completely in shadows now with the setting sun. Called strike on the outside edge, 1 ball and 1 strike. O'Hare taps the plate on the right side. Solano sets up inside, and the 1-1 chop to the third base counterpart. On a hop, Wyatt Anderson fires a strong throw across in time, and one third baseman grounds out to the other. 5-3 in the book, out number 2. So O'Hare is 0 for 2. Both times he's bounced out to Anderson at third. The Hardhats have a reliever warming in their bullpen. And 2 outs, nobody on. Owen Randall swings through the first pitch from Kelly, 0-1. It's a right-hander in the bullpen for the Hardhats. Might be Peyton Tipton. As Kelly hits the bottom of the zone, called strike 2 at the knees, 0-2 on Randall. He struck out swinging his first time, trying to not go down on strikes against Kelly. In his second crack at things, the 0-2, just a touch outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kelly approaching 70 pitches. This will be his 70th. The 1-2 swung on and missed. And the 6th strikeout for Eli Kelly completes inning number 4. We head to the bottom half. It's 3-2 Premier West. Hardhats to bat, and they're after the 4th after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City.
Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore has provided a full range of legal services for over 40 years in Rapid City. As one of the largest and highly respected law firms in western South Dakota and multi-state region, our expert team of diversified attorneys offer a very personalized style of legal representation. Whether it's support and recommendations with legal documents or the strongest proponent in a court of law, trusting who you hire as your advocate is vital in achieving the best results. Contact the experienced professionals today at Gunderson, Palmer, Nelson, and Ashmore Attorneys at Law.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Adam Birch alongside you, set for the bottom of inning number 4, and the Hardhats trailing 3-2 to Premier West. We're in game 1 of the Firecracker tournament for both of these two teams. Riker Henning to lead things off for the Hardhats. He was at the plate when Marion Saylor was out at the plate to end the 3rd. Dylan Huddle into the line. He kicks in, deals. First pitch to Henny, fouled straight back off the screen, 0-1. Riker Henny struck out his first time, trying to do something different against Huddle, the southpaw, in his second AB. Henny, Dietrich, and Solano, the 3 scheduled. The 0-1, downstairs, just a touch below the knees, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Henny. Huddle approaching 50 pitches. This will be his 49th. And into the line he goes, the 1-1. Down and away, a breaking ball that time. Didn't break back across the plate. And it's 2 balls and a strike on Henny. Usually Riker loves to jump all over the first pitch. He has a plan at the plate. The 2-1. Foul tipped off the catcher. Might have hit the arm of the catcher Hurdle. Kind of shaking off his throwing arm. Yeah, hit right right around the forearm area, in between the wrist and the elbow. So our home plate umpire gives him an extra couple moments to regather himself. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Henny, leadoff man here in the bottom of the 4th. Huddle likes the sign, and into the wind he goes. Delayed windup and the 2-2. Fly ball right side out of play. And if you're tuning in here at the ballpark and missed the announcements, our trivia question for this week had to do with a former hard hat that ended his hard hat career batting .417 and went on to play 12 years in the big leagues. 2-2 to Henny, misses down and in, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the choices for this week's 20 Tuesday trivia question: head coach Calvin Torvey, Ben Thomas, Dave Collins, and Mark Ellis. Payoff pitch to Henny, and it's shot foul right by the Hardhats dugout. The answer, Mark Ellis. And a special answer this week because the Hardhats get to announce that Mark Ellis will be the featured speaker at the Central Plains Regional Banquet on August 2nd. Payoff pitch misses outside to Henny, and he draws a leadoff walk to start the 4th. So Mark Ellis, the featured speaker at the Central Plains Regional Banquet on August 2nd at the Monument. You can get your tickets here at the ballpark. They'll be set up before Hardhats games, and then for about the first inning or so throughout the rest of the season here at the ballpark. So keep that in mind and get your tickets. Lots of great food plans and fun night plans, along with a former big leaguer in attendance, and to speak with the young men that qualify for the Central Plains Regional. Meeting of the minds on the mound for Premier West before Alex Dietrich steps in for his at-bat. Score still 3-2. And if you missed what I just said, Scotty J will continue to announce that answer, and Mark Ellis being at the Central Plains Regional throughout each game here at the Firecracker tournament. And those tickets are for sale starting this weekend. Dietrich fouls away the first pitch. Both corners were crashing in, expecting a bunt. And Dietrich swung away and fouled it straight back. Why, what a chance that would have been. The corners crashing in, and well, you just have to have an ounce of prayer. As the 0-1 misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike, and just trust that the ball is not going to be hit right at you as a corner infield with as you're crashing towards the plate, and the batter doesn't square to bunt. The 1-1 to Dietrich, down and in, 2 balls and a strike. Henny off of first, excuse me, and nobody out. Huddle set, and a pickoff move over to first. Henny back in, standing up. 3-2 Premier West. And Premier West, 3 runs, 2 hits, and an error. Hardhats, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. 2-1 to Dietrich. Henny takes off for second. A throw down is online and not in time, though. Henny just got his hand in. It's a swinging strike on Dietrich for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Henny on second now. Still nobody out. He's the tying run. Now Dietrich has to dig back in, ready for the 2-2. Huddle along looking, now comes set. And the 2-2. Chopper off the foot of Dietrich, and he's in some pain trying to walk it off. No protector on Dietrich's front left foot or ankle area, so he'll just walk it off, and we'll do the 2-2 once again. The ball ended up in fair territory, but anytime it hits off of you, the batter, it's a foul ball. Two balls and two strikes. Huddle set, stares down Henny, kicks and deals the 2-2. High fly ball center field, right center field now, and Blake Dale runs underneath of it, makes the grab. Henny tags and goes to third, dives in safely. So Dietrich does a job. It goes down as a flyout, not a sacrifice because no runs scored. We had that as a trivia question earlier this season. And now Jake Solano, runner on third, one out. Big situation for the Hardhats, trying to tie this game up once again. Actually tying the game up for the first time. Huddle works out on the line. First pitch to Solano, down, steers below the knees, 1-0. And Blake Dale, a strong arm in center field. But Premier West basically playing no doubles defense against Solano, the 1-0. Down and in, blocked by the catcher, Hurdle. Huddle on the mound to Hurdle behind the plate. Say that 5 times fast. Huddle, Hurdle. The 2-0 to Solano, a bouncer to short. He goes home with it and tags out Henny, who slides in feet first, and with the infield playing in the tying run, is out at the plate. We're still at a 3-2 score in favor of Premier West. Solano reaches on another fielder's choice. Brings up Wilson Kiefer. Kiefer robbed of extra bases his first time at the plate. First pitch downstairs, ball 1. So Solano at first, and the tying run all the way at first base now after being thrown out at the plate. Solano takes off for second. The pitch is high for a ball, and Solano slides in feet first, safe at second with a stolen base. So that tying run back in scoring position now for the Hardhats, and a little bit more running on the base paths for the Hardhats in this ball game. But give the coaching staff credit. Timing up catcher's throwdown and the pitcher's delivery to the plate. Ball misses down and in. Scoop by the catcher, Hurdle. Just about went back to the backstop. Solano had a huge secondary lead. 3-0 to Kiefer. Top of the order on deck in Zeke Farley. Should Kiefer reach? The 3-0. And Kiefer taking all the way on 3-0. It's called a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1. Huddle set, kicks and deals the 3-1. High, ball 4, not close. So Kiefer draws a walk. And now the top of the lineup for the Hardhats, Zeke Farley. 2 on, 2 outs. Farley a triple to the right field corner his last time up. And still a big gap. The right fielder Berg not shading towards the line anymore. First pitch to Farley inside, had to skip his foot out of the way from getting hit with that ball. Solano at second, Kiefer off of first with 2 gone. And another mountain visit for Premier West. We'll see if they make a pitching change. The coach looked to the dugout, and that's exactly what they'll do. A 1-0 count on Zeke Farley. We'll have a pitching change here. And Dylan Huddle out of the ball game. A nice round of applause from all the supporters here, home and away. And we'll take a quick step aside here for the pitching change on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. The new arm on the mound for Premier West is the tall first baseman turned pitcher, Aiden Johnson. So a right-hander has kind of a Justin Verlander leg kick with a lot of motion in it. And a 1-0 count on Zeke Farley when he enters. I believe that was because of a pitch count, and Huddle was at 69 pitches, right on the threshold of 70. So my guess is Premier West wants Huddle to potentially pitch again. Owen Randall, the designated hitter, takes over at first base, so they lose the designated hitter, and Johnson will still bat in his 5 spot. 1-0 the count on Zeke Farley. Aiden Johnson ready on the mounds. He works out of the stretch, 2 on, 2 outs, and hanging on to a 3-2 lead for Premier West. Gorgeous sunset to the left of Dinosaur Hill and behind Dinosaur Hill. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Zeke Farley, as mentioned, triple his last at-bat, fly to right. So both times he went to the opposite field. 2-0 from Johnson. Down and away. Nope, it's called a strike. The lower outside corner. Boy, some groans from the home supporters, and frankly, I don't blame them. The 2-1. Breaking ball down and away. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike on Farley. Dangerous hitter to give a 3-1 count to. Johnson set, peek at second, kicks and deals the 3-1. Down low, ball 4. Throw low to the bases up for Amarian Sailor. All the base runners in this inning, a walk, a fielder's choice with the play at the plate, a walk and another walk. Now Amarian Sailor at the plate. Bases full of baby blue hard hat jerseys. 2 outs. First pitch to Sailor, a strike across the belt, 0-1. Hardhats trailing 3-2. The tying and go-ahead runners in scoring position, as well as an insurance run on first base. Base is full. The 0-1 from Johnson. High, 1 ball and 1 strike. Some wispy clouds across the sky, reflecting with the pink and orange kind of sunset. Just gorgeous scene here in Rapid City. The 1-1. Breaking ball called, strike 2 on the outer edge, and Sailor in a 1 ball, 2 strike count now with Aiden Johnson. Sailor goes with the shorter width stance with 2 strikes. Ready as Johnson comes set, the 1-2. High and away, 2-2. The pond is full for Amarian Sailor in a big spot. Johnson's 2-2 to Amarian Sailor. Down straight back, and we'll do it again. Sailor this season, with 2 outs, has 8 runs batted in. Quick meeting between Johnson and the catcher, Hurdle. And talking to between Sailor and Anderson as well. Anderson in the on-deck circle. Hurdle back behind the plate in his crouch. He flashes the signs to Johnson. He likes 1, comes set, and steps off. Long at bat. Johnson and Sailor. And now Johnson bends over and looks in, and Sailor asks for time. Looks like Johnson couldn't see the signs flashed. Sets up outside, the 2-2 to Sailor. Swing and a miss. The Hardhats strand, the base is full. They trail 3-2, we head to the 5th. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booths. Sales, service, and recreation. Hardhats trailing to Premier West 3-2 on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Set for inning number 5. No score for either side in that 5th inning. All the offense coming in the 2nd and 3rd inning. 1 run in each inning for the Hardhats and 3 in the top half of the 3rd for Premier West. That's the difference here in this ball game. Set for inning number 5. Eli Kelly back to the hill, and first pitch line drive foul down the left field line for strike 1 on the top of the order, Chase Valdez. 1, 2, and 3, Valdez, Trujillo, and Hurdle to face Kelly. 0-1, bounces in front of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reliever still warming in the bullpen for the Hardhats. It's always a mystery to see who comes out of that bullpen. 1-1, breaking ball, chopped to third. Anderson on his back foot, fires, gathers, and strong throw across. Gets Valdez 5-3 for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 gone. The second baseman, Toby Trujillo, steps in. Trujillo, black and white ankle brace on his front left foot. First pitch, breaking ball, bounces in front of the plate for ball 1. A ball and no strikes on Trujillo. He's 0 for 1. A walk, a run scored, and a bouncer to third. The 1-0, low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. In the top third of this lineup, just 1 for 3, but has 3 walks. Kelly bounces another one, and it's 3 balls and no strikes on the second baseman for Premier West. 3-0, misses the zone, ball 4. So 1 out, walk drawn by Trujillo. Second walk drawn on his night. Brings up Max Hurdle. We'll see how far they let Kelly go. He's at 77 pitches now. Trujillo, a decent lead at first. He takes an extra half step. And a pickoff move over there. He dives back in safely. Max Hurdle, 1 for 1. An RBI single and a run scored in the 3rd. Walked in the 1st, so he's been on base both times. First pitch to Hurdle. Runner takes off for second. A bouncer right side through the gap in to right field. Harrison Good comes up throwing. The throw to third, cut off. And it'll be runners on the corners with 1 out. Boy, a nicely executed hit and run play. Both middle infielders crashing to the second base bag. It would have been a 4-3 ground out had Marsh been standing in his normal second base position, and that's the end of the night for Eli Kelly. Nice round of applause by the home faithful, and we'll see who comes out of the bullpen for the Hardhats. We'll take a step aside here in the top of the 5th inning and be right back here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. The reliever out of the bullpen for the Hardhats is Peyton Tipton. The right-hander for the Hardhats out of the bullpen in relief of Eli Kelly. Kelly responsible for the man on first base. There's one out. A 3-2 ball game, and Max Hurdle. Actually, runners on the corners after that single, rather. I just didn't update my book. So Kelly responsible for both those two runners. Peyton Tipton on the mound this season, just 2 appearances, so this is his third. An inning and 2/3, he's allowed 2 runs, both earned on 2 hits, and has walked 5. So looking to gain the final 2 outs. Would love a pitcher's best friend, the ground ball double play in this situation. And coming up in a difficult spot, you have the cleanup man in Blake Dale coming to the plate. Dale and then the new pitcher, Aiden Johnson. So the Hardhats tap their gloves around Tipton. And courtesy runner once again for Premier West. I believe that is Gabbert once again. Actually at first base. So Blake Dale at the plate. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Tipton toes the rubber right down the middle. If not, a little bit towards the third base side. Solano gives him a sign. He's set at the bell. First pitch from Tipton misses downstairs, blocked by Solano. And it's just ball 1. So Trujillo at third and the courtesy runner Gabbert at first. Tipton set once again. The 1-0, high, way upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Now our fastball from Tipton. Two 2-0 the count. Tipton ready. Solano sets up inside. The 2-0. A high fly ball to left center field. Zeke Farley over. Did he make the catch? He did. The runner tags and scores. The throw to first bounces in and gets past Dietrich. They would have had a double play. It's 4-2 on the sacrifice fly, and Gabbert almost was doubled off. The throw just bounced into Dietrich. So Dale just credited with a sacrifice fly to center. Lots of running for Zeke Farley on that play. Here's Aiden Johnson and a pickoff move to first. He dives back in. That's Gabbert. He's safe. Aiden Johnson, the new pitcher, awaiting his first pitch. 4-2 our score in favor of Premier West now. And Johnson looks at ball 1 inside, 1-0. Johnson, a 2-run double in the third inning. Fly to left before that, so he's 1 for 2, the 1-0. Fly ball, shallow left field. Long run for Amorian Sailor and Zeke Farley, and no one will get there. Everyone's safe. Johnson to second, and he stays put there. Miscommunication by the Hardhats. Long run for Farley. Kiefer went out from short. And I think Kiefer was expecting Farley to call him off and never got that call off. So it's second and third with 2 outs after what will be scored a single. Potentially a double for Johnson. Here's Jake Watkins. A walk and a strikeout. First pitch to Watkins. A line drive. Shallow right field. Diving attempt by Harrison Good. He got it. That ends the inning. Premier West on the board once again. It's 4-2. But a nice diving grab by Harrison Good to end the inning, and the Hardhats will try and counter in their half of the fifth. After this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Hardhats trailing 4-2 to Premier West on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. My name's Adam Birch, and I'm just about set to bring you the bottom of inning number 5. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 of the Hardhats lineup, with Teenage Wasteland blaring on the speakers here at the ballpark. Excellent song choice, I might add. It'll be Wyatt Anderson, Harrison Good, and Dylan Marsh. And it always seems to be a little bit of serendipity when you make a nice play in the field, you get to turn around and have your crack at the plate. That's what Harrison Good did, a diving attempt in right field for out number 3, and he'll bat second in this inning. Hardhats trailing by 2, and Johnson will work for the first time out of the windup. Over the head into the wind, and the first pitch inside edge called strike 1. There's a herky-jerky windup from Aiden Johnson. Lots of deception on that one, and he misses outside, even count 1 ball and 1 strike. He also hides the ball well, and he hides the ball well out of the stretch as well. The 1-1, chopper right at the plate. Hit Anderson's bat twice and went right by Harrison Good in the on-deck circle. A 1 ball, 2 strike count on the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 5th. Right at the 9 o'clock hour local mountain time. Johnson winds, kicks, deals the 1-2, swung on and missed, dropped third strike. Anderson tagged out, and Anderson sprinted down to first. Our home plate umpire called him out with the tag. Anderson appearing like he was never tagged. And they will say that's out number 1. Here is Harrison Good. Harrison Good 0 for 2 tonight. 1 out, nobody on, facing Aiden Johnson for the first time. Johnson winds, kicks, deals, and the first pitch, fly ball right at the right fielder, hooking and turning. Dalton Berg makes the grab. A couple of steps in front of the warning track in right field for out number 2. Brings up Dylan Marsh. Quickly, 2 up, 2 gone for the Hardhats in their half of the 5th. Dylan Marsh bats from the right side. Johnson winds, kicks, and fires, and hits the zone. A called strike 1 taken by Marsh. Johnson, he is in the wind-up position. Wide stance on the mound, both feet on the rubber. And over his head, and herky-jerky kind of kick motion as Marsh fouls the 0-1 away. It's 0-2. Two outs, nobody on. 2 strikes on Dylan Marsh. Johnson looks in, and a long look, and Marsh asks for time. Setting into the wind once again, the 2-strike pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove. Marsh down swinging for out number 3. Hardhats go down in order in the 5th. They trail 4-2 heading to the 6th. Back in a moment right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales Service and Recreation. Peyton Tipton back to the mound for the Hardhats. He faces 7, 8, and 9 in the 6th. First pitch, a called strike 1 on the left-handed bat of Dalton Berg, the right fielder. A 1. Fly ball left field side in play, but it lands in the bullpen of the Hardhats. You see the haze kind of flying over the top of the screen on Hardhats TV. That's just some smoke from the grill of the concession stand, and boy, let's just say it smells rather good. Nothing in 2 on Dalton Berg. It's creating kind of a hazy view right now. Tipton set the 0-2 down and away. A ball and 2 strikes. And Berg, O'Hare, and Randall. Ball and 2 strikes. Tipton kicks and deals and misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tipton looks into Solano, likes the sign set at the belt. Slowly out of the stretch to 2-2, up and away, ball 3. So 0-2 to 3-2, and now where does Tipton go on the payoff pitch? Tipton set, and the payoff, we'll have to wait. He just steps off. Berg tonight is 0 for 2, a pair of strikeouts, but facing Tipton for the first time. Here's the payoff, and misses outside, ball 4. Berg sprints down to first over the base on balls.
That's the play number 44, Cameron O'Hare.
Now Cameron O'Hare, 0 for 2 on his night as well. A couple of bouncers to his third base counterpart. Tipton ready at the belt, and O'Hare scores the ball and offers that in, and it's fouled at off of Solano. So 0-1. Anderson creeping in at third. Dietrich holding on the base runner at first. It's 4-2. Berg off of first. Tipton comes set at the belt. Ready in the 0-1. He scores the bunt, pulls back. It bounces in front of the plate. Solano found the ball. And it's just a 1-1 count. Even count, 1 ball and 1 strike. So O'Hare, come on, bouncers to the left side. Love another one. The 1-1 bunted foul, and O'Hare can't get a bunt down. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on the third baseman of Premier West. And now he will presumably have to swing away here. Premier West leading 4-2. Once again, doubleheader tomorrow night, and in 1 game Saturday, 1 game Sunday, and then 1 more game on Monday for the Hardhats. 1-2, he scores the bunt, drops it down, fair territory. Anderson fields and fires to first in time, out number 1. There was nobody covering third, and Berg thought about going there. So O'Hare does get the sacrifice down, even with the 2 strikes. So Berg in scoring position with 1 out now. Owen Randall, the next ahead, pair of strikeouts on his line. He's a new first baseman. First pitch from Tipton, a line drive, foul, down the left field line. Just a couple of feet foul down that line. And it's just strike 1 on Randall. So Randall taps the plate on the right side. Tipton looks in and gives Solano a nod of the head. The 0-1, breaking ball swung on and missed, 0-2. Top the order on deck, barring a double play ball. It would have to be a non-traditional double play. The runner on second. Tipton set once again and ready. 2-strike pitch, swung on and missed. A huge strikeout for Tipton. And Randall goes down swinging for the 3rd time. Huge out number 2. And now Jace Valdez. Valdez, the shortstop, he's 0 for 2 in the leadoff spot. A fly to left, a bouncer to third, and a walk with a run scored. Valdez bats from the right side. Big gap on the left side of the infield with Kiefer holding on the runner. And a pop-up foul right side out of play. 0-1 on Valdez. Tipped in a peek at second, kicks and deals the 0-1. Fly ball right field. Harrison, good a long run. He dives, and he can't make the grab. Yeah, one bounces into the bullpen of Premier West. So 0-2 now on the Premier West shortstop. Trying to send the Hardhats back to the bats. Offensively, they're down to their final 6 outs. Tipped in a long look into Solano. And Solano wants it upstairs. The 0-2. Bouncer to first. Dietrich snakes it on a hard hop and takes it to the first base bag himself. 3 unassisted for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-2, Premier West. And the Hardhats back to the bats right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. Bottom of inning number 6 here at Black Hills Surgical Hospital Ballpark in Rapid City. Adam Birch set to bring you to the bottom of the 6th, and the Hardhats trailing 4-2 to Premier West. And that score on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Hardhats send Riker Henney, Alex Dietrich, and Jake Solano, the 3 scheduled to face Aiden Johnson. And Johnson, since entering the ball game with 2 outs in the 4th, he entered with a 1-0 count, surrendered a walk to Farley, struck out Saylor to end the 4th, a strikeout, a fly ball, and another strikeout. So Johnson has been dealing out of the bullpen. First pitch to Riker Henney. He goes after it, chops it up the first base line, foul. 0-1. Henney here tonight struck out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and was thrown out at the plate as the tying run at that time. Now the Hardhats trailing 4-2 after surrendering 1 more run in the 5th. They have not scored since the 3rd. Henney looks at ball 1 downstairs. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. The spectators sticking around here at the ballpark. A gorgeous night. And Henny looks at a called strike 2 from Johnson. Coach Torvey and Coach Clapperidge at the end of the Hardhats dugout discussing things and discussing their game plan going forward down to their final 6 outs. And Henny swings through the 1-2, make it the final 5 outs, as that's the first out of the 6th. Third strikeout already for, actually the 4th strikeout already for Aiden Johnson out of the bullpen. Here's Alex Dietrich facing Johnson for the first time. Dietrich bats from the right side. 1 out, nobody on, and the first pitch shot foul. Beyond the plate, nothing in 1. Dietrich an RBI single in the 2nd, and a fly ball to center in the 4th. Just 1 for 2. Premier West outfield playing a very deep 0-1, down and away, even count, 1-1. Johnson into the line and the 1-1. Strike on the inside edge, 1-2. We've seen that inside pitch usually in a 1-1 count. Both times he's used it. That fastball on the inner black against Hennig and Dietrich, and now the catcher sets up on the outside part, the 1-2. A little line drive right at the shortstop. He snags it on the line for out number 2. Nice play by Jace Valdez, a hooking line drive. That'll bring up Jake Solano. Reached base twice here today. Both fielder's choice. So he's 0 for 2. Johnson winds, kicks, deals, and the first pitch to Solano. He drops it down the third base line. O'Hare fields and fires the first in time to get Solano. And that's out number 3. The Hardhats go down in order. And we head to the 7th right here on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Set for inning number 7, and Peyton Tipton back to the hill for the Hardhats. Tipton to face 2, 3, and 4 of the Premier West lineup. That's Trujillo, Hurdle, and Dale. 4-2, the Premier West advantage entering the final inning of regulation. Tap the Hardhats of what round Peyton Tipton to start the 7th, even without a Hardhat lead. They're out hitting Premier West still 5-4. Toby Trujillo bats from the right side. He steps in for just his second official at bat. He's walked twice and scored both times, and Tipton misses outside ball one. And bounced out to third way back in inning number one. Tipton set in the 1-0, inside with a fastball, 2-0. And in case you're wondering, the Hardhats will have Kiefer, Farley, and Saylor. So the dangerous part in their half of the seventh. 2-0, chopped to Marsh. On the ground, he fields and fires to first in time, out number one. 4-3 in the book, and Trujillo finishes his day 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs and 2 walks. Brings up Max Hurdle. The catcher 2 for 2. A walk and a pair of singles, along with a RBI and a run scored. Hurdle looks at a called strike one on the inside edge. 0-1. Hurdle and then Blake Dale, the center fielder. 0-1 is a little bit high above the letters. 1-1. Tipton working quickly, gathers the sign from Solano, the 1-1 inside, 2 balls and a strike. For the Hardhats, Kiefer is 0 for 1, robbed of extra bases. 2-1 becomes 3 balls and a strike as it misses down away. Farley is 1 for 2, a triple run scored and a walk. And Amarian Saylor 1 for 3 with a single. First, the 3-1 from Tipton is outside ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Hurdle, and he's on base for his 4th time in 4 plate appearances. And the courtesy runner, Gabbert. Carson Gabbert takes over at first. Blake Dale at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Bats from the right side. First pitch from Tipton misses high for ball 1. Popped out in foul territory. A nice play by Alex Dietrich up against the net in the first. That was to end the first. He struck out looking in the third. And it hit a sacrifice fly to center field. Robbed of a hit there, and this one right back up the middle past and Tipton. Look out, he hits the deck. And with 1 out, it's first and second for Premier West. Everyone checking on Peyton Tipton. That was just a hot shot comebacker. And those, it has to be one of the most dangerous plays in baseball. The hot shot back to the mound. You're taught as a pitcher, immediately when you release the ball, you become a fielder. And Peyton Tipton had his eyeballs go wide on that one, just had to hit the deck and watch it bounce into center field. So it's first and second, 1 out, 4-2 Premier West. Here's Aiden Johnson. And Tipton hits the bottom outside corner for a called strike 1. It's Gabbert off of second. And Dale off of first. Dale on base for the first time tonight. The 0-1. Popped up right side foul territory. Dietrich gives chase and it hits off the netting before he crashes into the netting. It's just strike two. And once that ball hits the netting up the line, it becomes a dead ball. That's exactly what happened. 2 strikes on Aiden Johnson. 2 on, 1 out. Here's the 0-2. Runners take off. Bluff steal attempt by both runners. And it just misses up and away for ball 1. Solano popped out of his crouch, ready to throw it somewhere. Sets up inside. The 1-2. Breaking ball blocked by Solano. Down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still a 4-2 ball game in favor of Premier West. They've led ever since their 3-run third. After the Hardhats took the opening lead at 1-0 in the second. Ball 3 misses outside. Will have a full count payoff pitch coming to Aiden Johnson. Now tied 5 hits aside. Walks have been the story of this ball game, really. I mean, the Hardhats. The 3-2 swung on and missed by Johnson. And he goes down swinging for big out number 2. So Johnson finishes his day at the plate 2 for 4. A 2-run double, a single. Ended up at second, and then a strikeout and a flyout. So now the left-handed bat of Jake Watkins. 2 on, 2 outs, and the first pitch to Watkins. Outside, and kind of an unintentional pitch out to the left-handed bat. Ball 1. Robbed of a hit in the 5th. Diving catch by Harrison Good to end that 5th inning. Struck out before that in the 3rd and walked in the 2nd. 1-0. Up and away. The throw down to second is not in time. Solano just trying to keep Gabbert close. The 2-0 from Tipton, down and away, blocked by Solano, now 3-0. Tipton trying to find the strike zone. Hardhats faithful still on attendance. And intently watching this ball game, the 3-0 outside ball 4. 2-out walk loads the bases. So it's Gabbert at third. And now Dale at second, Watkins at first, and Coach Ryan Clapper out of the dugout once again for the Hardhats to have a word with Tipton and Solano. Here's the situation, folks. There are 2 outs, bases full of navy blue Premier West jerseys. And the new batter will be Dalton Berg. Berg bats from the left side. Tipton toes the rubber, getting set to face Berg. He looks into Solano. Berg is 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. First pitch, downstairs, ball 1. . 1-0 on Berg. Cameron O'Hare on deck. Should the inning continue? And another one downstairs, blocked by Solano. 2 balls and no strikes. Again, there's nowhere to put him. Hardhats would hate to surrender another insurance run heading into the bottom of the 7th. 2-0. Line drive high and deep to right center field. That'll split the outfielders. And that ball rolls all the way up against the wall and just dies there. Berg heads for third. He dives in safely there. It's a bases clearing triple, resulting in 3 runs with 2 outs. It's 7-2. Now Cameron O'Hare. Runner at third, 2 gone. O'Hare is 0 for 2. And he pops it up right side. Dietrich gives chase, but he runs out of room as it lands into the middle bleachers. Nothing in 1 on O'Hare. Tipton looks in, comes set, ready once again, and the 0-1. Breaking ball swung on and missed, 0-2. Tough situation on the mound to give up that triple, but in a 2-0 count, you have to get it across the plate, and Berg just did not miss it. 0-2, bouncer up the third base line, foul. Count remains 0-2. So now the deficit is 5. The Hardhats have 3 outs to work with. They'll need production out of their entire lineup, basically. Try and make a comeback. Strike 3 called outside edge, and O'Hare goes down looking for out number 3, but Premier West does the damage they needed. 3 more insurance runs, and it's 7-2 heading to the bottom of the 7th. Back in a moment on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast Booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Bottom of inning number 7, the Hardhats have a tall task. They trail by 5. It's 7-2 in favor of Premier West. First games for both of these 2 teams here at the 47th Annual Firecracker Tournament here in Rapid City. The Hardhats in jeopardy of falling to 0-1 here at the Firecracker. 29-16 overall this season. Olsen Kiefer leads things off. He was robbed of a hit way back in the second. Walked his last trip, so just 0 for 1. Orders the bunt, pulls back. It's a called strike 1 on Kiefer. 0-1. That robbery was a fly ball to center field. The 0-1. Bouncer to short. Up with it, Valdez. He fires the first in time, out number 1. And one shortstop grounds out to the other. 6-3. Top of the order now, Zeke Farley. Farley, 1 for 2, a triple and run scored. That lone hit. Walked his last trip and looks at ball 1 low. So 1 out, nobody on, 7-2 Premier West. Johnson into the wind. The 1-0, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Even count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Into the wind-up and the 1-1. Down and away, 2 balls and a strike. Johnson has only thrown 32 pitches in his relief appearance. The 2-1. Down and away. 3 balls and a strike. Johnson ready. He winds, kicks over his head and deals. And the 3-1 hits the outer black, called strike 2. Payoff pitch upcoming. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff to Zeke Farley. Chopper behind the plate. Game 1 of this tournament featured Rock Canyon and Rocky Mountain. Rock Canyon with the victory 7-4. Missoula then defeated Rock Canyon at 10-5 in game 2. And then Missoula fell at the hands of Millard 8-2. Farley looks at ball 4 down and in, and he's on base with a base on balls. 1 out, runner on first. It brings up Amarian Saylor. After that, Papillion defeated Terre Haute by a final score of 5-4, I believe. And this is the final game of day 1. Marion Saylor 1 for 3. Lone hit a single. This one popped up right side, out of play. 0-1. Tomorrow, the 9 o'clock game, Rock Canyon and Millard. Premier West plays Terre Haute, and then Premier West plays Missoula. Doubleheader day for these guys as well. 0-1 becomes 0-2 as Saylor fouls it straight back and out of play. Then another doubleheader, post 22 against Papillion, Nebraska, and the Hardhats against Rocky Mountain. Runner on first, 1 out. Those games at 4:30 and 7 Mountain Time. 0-2, bouncer left side to second for 1, over to first, and it's a wild throw and goes on past. Saylor thought about going to second. He'll just trot his way back to first and hold up there. There are 2 outs. Saylor replaces Farley and first on what will be scored just a fielder's choice. And I'll bring up Wyatt Anderson. Anderson 1 for 3. Single fly to center and a strikeout. First pitch. Inside edge, called strike 1. Anderson had to raise his arms and turn out of the way of it. And somehow it's called a strike. Hardhats faithful not liking the call. 0-1. Now tip back to the backstop, and now Hardhats potentially down to their final strike of the night. Trailing 7-2. Johnson toes the rubber. Looks in. The catcher hurdle. Set, and the 2-strike pitch to Anderson. Fly ball, shallow center field, a long run for everyone, and it's the second baseman, Trujillo, who makes a grab out number 3. And Premier West defeats the Hardhats in Game 1 here at the Firecracker tournament. 7-2 the final score. And the Hardhats fall to 29-17 on the season. We'll take a 30-second step aside and come back for our post-game show right after this on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome to the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support local sports, and they want to be your trusted partner for all your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. Hardhats fall in their first game at the Firecracker tournament, the 47th annual, by a final score of 7-2 to Premier West out of Colorado. Quick rundown of the scoring recap in this one. Hardhats took the lead in the bottom of the second, 1 run in that second inning. But Premier West countered immediately in the top of the third with 3 runs. And really that was the difference in this ball game outside of a 3-run 7th inning. The Hardhats countered in the bottom half of the third inning to make it 3-2. No score in the fourth, a big run in the fifth to make it 4-2 before the Hardhats allowed 3 more runs in the 7th inning to Premier West to make it 7-2. And the final line score for this one, 7 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Premier West. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the post-22 Hardhats as they fall to 29-17 on the season. Today's player of the game is sponsored by Claiborne Los and Sabres. Whether it's divorce, injury, or a business dispute, when you need someone to step up for you, the law office at Claiborne Los and Sabres is always ready. Just Google Claiborne Los and Sabres in Rapid City. I'll give the player of the game to Zeke Farley here today. It looked like a little bit of momentum was starting to build. In the bottom half of the third inning, Farley led off the inning with a triple into the right field corner. He was immediately driven in by Amarian Saylor, and the Hardhats immediately cut the deficit to 3-2. But outside of that, they weren't able to really string together back-to-back hits, back-to-back base runners really throughout the night against Dylan Huddle and Aiden Johnson. So the Hardhats, really that was the story of this game here tonight against Premier West. But Zeke Farley, today's Claiborne Los and Sabres player of the game. Once again, folks, the Hardhats play a doubleheader tomorrow night at 4:30 local Mountain Time. About that, we'll see if the tournament is on schedule. They were about on schedule here tonight with the pregame festivities and everything for that matter here tonight, but a doubleheader against Papillion, Nebraska at 4:30 and Rocky Mountain, the Lobos, at 7 o'clock tomorrow night for your Friday evening. So until then, my name is Adam Birch. We'll have both games tomorrow on Hardhats TV and Fox Sports Rapid City. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a wonderful evening.